Yo, what is up? Peace and richest blessings. Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast, the number one podcast of all space, time, and dimension. You already know what it is. 15-minute Friday. Let's get it. Here to add some inspiration, some good vibes, and some empowerment to your Friday or whatever day you're listening to this. Could be a Tuesday. It doesn't really matter, but it does matter that you're listening because I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason. So you've been drawn to this audio recording for some reason. Maybe there's just a little something that you really needed to hear specifically today to help you evolve to the next level, to help you on this ascension journey. I am so grateful that I get to come on this journey with you. I want to say I appreciate you for listening, and I want to acknowledge you for investing this time in your own personal growth, so you can start playing at a higher level and live a happier, more fulfilled lifestyle. That's what we're all about here on the Burnell Washburn podcast, is just spreading love, spreading good vibes, and sharing tools, tactics, techniques, strategies, and mind shifts that can help you take things to the next level, step into your power, awaken to your divinity, and create a life of your dreams that you're just stoked on, or you just can't wait to wake up in the morning and live it to the fullest. So thank you for joining me. This is 15-Minute Friday. I drop new episodes twice a week, usually every Friday and every Tuesday. I also drop YouTube videos pretty regularly and a lot of uplifting, inspiring social media posts as well. So make sure to connect with me online if you haven't already. You probably already have. Otherwise, I don't really know how you found out about this podcast, but if you did just find this randomly in the podcast app, that's even more of a reason that you need to be hearing this episode and that you and I need to be connecting. Our soul tribe is coming together. So, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, connect with me online. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes if you haven't yet. That helps more people find the podcast. It helps spread the empowerment and spread the good vibes. And drop a comment if you're bumping this on YouTube. Otherwise, please just shoot me a message saying that you're listening so I can personally thank you for being a part of this community. Sometimes I like to screenshot those messages and share them out on my platform and just help connect. It's cool to see like different podcast listeners who didn't know each other before starting to build actual friendships because they both listen into the podcast. So that's pretty cool, and I like to share those out, and it just inspires me. Like today I was on a cloud nine because some girl hit me up saying that she was feeling the podcast, and I was like, yeah. It just made me smile, and it made me like even more stoked to come record an episode. So like, comment, share, subscribe, message me, jump on the Patreon, become a patron, join the gratitude gang, do all the things and all the stuff that podcast promoters are supposed to tell you to do. Boom. Now that that's out of the way, let's jump into today's episode. For real. This is an important concept that absolutely changed my life. And just this mental framework can really help pull you out of a funk or a bad day. If you're in a rut in your life or you're kind of going through a challenging time, this is something you're going to want to pay attention to. I first learned this from one of my favorite mentors that I absolutely adore. Her name is Marie Forleo, and she runs a thing called B School, and she does a lot of YouTube content, and I followed her journey throughout the years. Now she's like one of the leading people in the self-development space, hanging out with like Tony Robbins and Richard Branson and all these badass people. But I kind of watched her just start from like just her laptop in her bedroom doing YouTube videos and then grow it and get bigger and better. And I've learned a lot from her. So anytime I learn something from a specific person and I remember like who I first learned it from, I like to shout them out. So I'm not just blatantly stealing their content and trying to pass it off as my own. I am filtering it through my own experience though, regardless. And this is something that I felt like is too valuable not to share. So Marie kind of explains this philosophy in terms of having a flashlight. At any given time in our life, we're holding a flashlight. And that flashlight can only shine one direction at a time. It can either shine on ourselves, or it can shine on the people that we're trying to serve. So if we're shining the flashlight on ourselves, we're often becoming hyper aware and hypersensitive about our own flaws, our own shortcomings and downfalls and weaknesses. But when we shine the light on who we can serve, it's like our higher self gets lit up, our heart gets lit up, our ability to think more clearly and just serve at a higher level increases because we're not coming from a fearful, insecure place. We're coming from a loving, giving, abundant, generous place. And this is a really helpful thing to think in mind, to keep in mind with anything in life. If you're getting on a phone call, if you're in an interview, if you are performing a concert, if you are pitching your sales to someone, if you are, if you're trying to sell anything, if you're doing a business call, anything in life, you can just think about, okay, where is my flashlight shining? And if I want to perform at my very best in this situation, I should not shine it at myself. I should shine it on the person I'm trying to serve. And there's definitely a time you want to be shining it on yourself. I feel like, we go through cycles with the moon, and I know women understand this cyclical rhythm a lot more than most men do, but there's time when we need to be more introverted and time we need to be going within more and doing more self-discovery, maybe lots of self-care, lots of meditation. And then there's a time when we need to just be out in the world and being in the mix and getting out of our comfort zone and getting out of our shell. And I feel like with spring right now, a lot of us are coming out of hiding for the winter. We're coming out of our shells, ready to start socializing more again. And that can bring up some insecurities for some people, so it's just important to think about the flashlight and which direction you're pointing it on. When you're pointing it on the people that you're trying to serve, it's almost like God or the universe or higher self or infinite intelligence or whatever you want to call it aids you and assists you whenever you're working for a bigger cause that's not just about you. One of my favorite quotes or sayings that I think I made up, I probably stole it from someone, but I don't even remember at this point. I've been saying it for so long, it feels like my own. I'm sure a lot of awesome people have said something similar, but it goes, the fastest way to pick ourselves up when we're feeling down is to go lift someone else up. In other words, the fastest way to have a better day when we're having an off day is to go focus on making someone else's day better. If you're having a hard day and you're just stressed and anxious and depressed and sad and lonely or whatever negative emotions you might be experiencing, which are coming to help you grow, which are being exposed so you can transform them like we've talked about in other episodes. But if you want to turn those emotions around, the fastest way is to go do something for someone else. Go donate your time, go send a nice text message, go leave a nice note on someone's car. Go, if you're lonely, go find someone else that's lonely and try to befriend them. Be the one to reach out rather than waiting for someone else to reach out to you. Be the change that you wish to see in the universe. And this applies on all levels. It's one of those cliche quotes that all of us know, but we struggle to live by that sometimes. I know I do for sure. I'm trying and striving to be the change I wish to see every day, but it's always easier said than done. So we got to think about, we can turn pain into our partner, we can turn hardship into our helper, we can turn any suffering, any challenge, any pain we've experienced in life and flip that into a positive that ends up benefiting ourselves and others. So next time you're feeling down, next time you're worked up about something or just overwhelmed or stressed, ask yourself, which way am I shining this flashlight? And I guarantee 9 times out of 10, it's because you have the flashlight turned on yourself, turned on your problems, turned on what's wrong, turned on all the things that you lack, all the things that you're scared about, rather than all the people that you could serve, all the things that you love, all the exciting opportunities, all the room for growth. Like I've said before, nothing in the universe is either negative or positive. It's just our thinking that makes it so. So it's all about reframing it, and the faster we can reframe something, the faster we can use it to our advantage. So even for me, for example, anytime I'm going through a negative emotion, I just honor it, I feel it, and then I immediately reframe it as a blessing in disguise or as some type of benefit. Like, even if I'm having an off day, I'm like, sick, this is going to give me some more content to talk about on my YouTube channel. This is going to provide me more insight to provide value to my tribe and help my community thrive more. This is such a blessing. Thank you. I'm stoked on this. Even if it doesn't feel good in the moment, I can at least reframe it and like shine my flashlight onto the solution rather than the problem, and shine my flashlight onto like how this perceived negative event can actually better equip me to serve and inspire and uplift others. So it's actually a beautiful thing if you look at it that way. But yeah, this flashlight metaphor is very useful in a lot of situations. I actually saw a random example of someone using it yesterday. This guy was trying to read his paper, read his book or something, and this other guy behind him kept trying to talk to him and make conversation, and kept kind of getting in this guy's business, like asking him all these kind of nosy questions, and you could tell the guy was a little off-put, like, just like, why you getting all up in my business, homie? Like, why you asking me all these questions? Kind of weird for like a stranger. And it was just, obviously the person didn't really understand boundaries, or he was past small talk, we'll just say that. So he was asking this dude some personal, interesting questions, and the guy just like flipped the flashlight around on him and started asking him personal questions instead, because it took the attention off of him and put it onto the guy that was first making him uncomfortable. And I noticed like that flip that made him feel more comfortable, because he was like, you could just see that he was getting uncomfortable, and then he was like, well, what are you gonna do when you get home? And the guy was kind of caught off guard. That he was like, I'm just gonna watch the news. Well, what news are you gonna watch? Just whatever's on. Well, why is that? What you don't have a specific channel? Like, the guy just like, he felt uncomfortable because he was getting too many questions asked about him that he didn't feel safe answering or whatever. So he just flipped the flashlight around on this guy like a G, and was just like, let me ask you about you then. And got all kind of nosy about this guy's life, and the guy kind of just shut up on him. It was funny. But anytime you're feeling awkward or uncomfortable or insecure or fearful, just switch that flashlight around. Like every time I'm performing a concert, this is something I'm working on hardcore, so I'll be vulnerable with you guys for a minute. It's like, I go through these times when I'm performing where I get totally into the zone. I'm just crushing it. I'm coming from the heart and spirit. I'm just feeling my music. I don't even care what anyone thinks. I'm just feeling my music so hard. And I'm just oozing love and joy out onto everyone in the crowd. And I'm just loving them fully. I'm in my complete higher self. I'm in my power. I'm not even considering what anyone's thinking of me. I'm just seeing the light in everyone else and reflecting it back onto them and wanting to just love on them. And then I always slip into moments where it's the exact opposite, where I think about, oh, what's that what are they thinking of me? They're looking at me weird. That person just walked away. They're not feeling it. Oh, this person's on their phone. They must not like my music. Oh, there's my homie that just totally having a conversation with someone else, not paying attention. I must suck. Like, as soon as I start thinking about all of them and like what they're thinking of me, and I kind of have the flashlight shined on my ego, I just lose it. Like, I lose the crowd's engagement. They start walking away. They stop feeling me, and I can just feel it. And this has always happened when I've been performing. I've had a few shows in my career where it's been like I was in like the high flow state the entire set. But most sets I'll go like a song or two fully in the zone, and then I'll slip in and out of like from heart to ego, shining the light on all my insecurities and worried about what people are thinking of me. And then I flip it back to just like, I don't even care what anyone thinks about me. I'm just here to love them. I just love them. They're awesome human beings, and human beings are cool, and I just want them to have a great time. And I want to share my gift of song and music with them. And I don't even care what any of them think because I'm feeling so secure and self assured and confident with my own work. I don't need anyone else's validation or approval to make me feel good about what I'm doing. So that's just like one example of the flashlight metaphor where you can just think about who you're trying to serve instead of all about you. A lot of our suffering comes from just too much focus on ourselves. And when I first started realizing this, I started going and leaving nice notes on people's cars like every morning. I started donating more money. I started sharing more content online. I started just trying to help more people because I realized like not only was it the right thing to do, and not only was like my gift and my work needed in the world, because everyone's is, we all have unique gifts and unique perspectives that only we can give to the world. So if we don't share ourselves with the world, then we're really doing the planet a disservice because we're all an important part of this ascension process. And yeah, when I started realizing that I could like be happier and more fulfilled while also doing more good in the world, it's like a no-brainer. Like, oh shit, I can overcome my own depression and my own sadness and my own anxiety and my own bad days just by helping others. And then everyone loves me and wants to shower me with compliments and gifts and love all the time because I'm out there giving and serving all the time, every day. It's just so much, I don't know, it's just a more fulfilling, more beautiful way to live. And it's so easy to get caught up in self-focus and just always being worried about our own life and our own situation and our own bills and our own health and our own stresses. And obviously we have to take care of ourselves. I preach self-care. I do hours of self-care a day. We can't serve from an empty cup. We got to take care of ourselves first, put our own oxygen mask on first. But getting out of our own head, stepping out from the self-focus and focusing on who we can serve, switching that flashlight angle, is actually a form of self-care. We're all one, so an act of service to someone else is an act of service to yourself too. In order to give love, you have to feel love first, you know what I mean? So everybody wins when we step out of our, we turn that me into a we. We over me. Together we inspire. Peace and blessings. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Make sure to shoot me a message if you enjoyed this episode, just so I can personally thank you and say what up. And yeah, hit up the Patreon page if you're getting value from this. You can join the gratitude gang. Even just as little as like $5 a month can make a massive difference and help the message grow, help spread the good vibes, and help grow the tribe. So I love you. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Go out there and just shine to the fullest because the whole world benefits when you're shining. You're doing the entire world a huge favor when you just follow your bliss and you do what lights you up. You're going to show up as a better dad, a better mom, a better husband, a better wife, a better son, a better daughter, whatever you are. You're going to show up as a better version of that. So keep shining, keep glowing, keep doing what lights you up. Get out there and share your gifts with the world because only you can share it and the world really needs it right now. I love you. Peace and blessings. Have an amazing rest of your day.